Well, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever you may be tuning in for our Sunday Live. My name is Daryl Ledyard. I'm along with Stephen Brocklehurst, over to my
Evening,
right,
or
and
afternoon, or good morning, wherever you may be.
Simon is on the downstairs floor today.
Yeah,
Hi
So,
everyone, how you doing?
yeah. I
so
swapped studios with Simon, and because I got in first, so Simon had to take the downstairs studio.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Why don't we do this? I noticed some shows that are out there, they take a little bit of time to introduce themselves at the beginning, where they're from and what they do on a day-to-day basis. So I figure we might try to add that to our format as kind of people start to file in and things like that. So I guess I'll go first. I'm Daryl Ledyard. I run a company called Mass Page Tools and Ledger Digital. We build software for lead generation, for mass page, and tools for SEO and domaining. So those are kind of the niches that we're in, and we're growing the business to, solve any kind of concern people are having with building mass page sites, from image compression, metadata, anything you can think of, we try to build. So sort of just like inventing stuff to help mass page people. So that's what I do. Stephen, what about you?
Well, as most people know me, for those that don't, I'm Stephen Brocklehurst. I run Legion Magic, which is currently being revamped into a blocks club. We've got lots going on with that at the moment. And also dfymagicthemes.com. That is where we are pre-building sites that work with Magic Page plugin. And the idea is you'll be able to build a mass page site with all the content on it already. We've already got electrician, gardener, painter, pest control, and web design is the last one that's going to be added to the members area. We're launching it hopefully on the 12th of October with this, and it's ready-made content on the DFY themes. All the content's there. You just load it and they get you started with working with Magic Page. And then the idea with the Blocks Club, when we fully revamp that, is going to work with the Magic Form, which Daryl runs in mass.page. And so that's sort of roughly what I do, as well as mentoring and really I'm probably, some people class me the clown of the bunch. I like to mess around, like as you can see on my telly behind me over here. Yes. There's the three of us on the telly, so yeah, took me hours to wire that up.
I guess so. Do you get the soccer or football games on there? And
sometimes if I tune it in right, but at the moment, I haven't in my studio. I haven't got a TV license in the UK for the studio, so I can't put anything up yet. But I will get one for that. So.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see how it is. How about you, Simon?
Yeah, I'm Simon Hogben. I specialize in local SEO. I run a number of courses. I've got my Facebook group called Local SEO Heroes, and I provide some coaching and courses, but I also do some services like content writing and page optimization, that sort of thing. Like you guys, I'm also into mass page building. Use a number of different platforms for that, and in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be launching a new mass page building proposition, a sort of hosted managed service for people, which I'll be telling you more about soon. I'm also a professional photographer, and that's really how I got into SEO a number of years ago, just learning how to promote my own business through SEO. And obviously there's a lot of photographers in my group as well, and certainly help them out too. So yeah, that's me.
It's a quick question for you, Simon, if it's all right.
Yeah, sure.
I see a lot of TV programs in the UK, shopping channels that are promoting drones, right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Right. Now, surely there's got to be some legalities to owning a drone. And am I right in saying that if you just put one up in the air, you can get in trouble or something? Sure, there's got to be some rules.
You can, yeah, sure. There's quite a lot of rules around about it. So if you're flying a drone outside, it's regulated by the Civil Aviation Authority in the UK, and depending on the weight of the drone, you need certain licenses. If you're doing any commercial work, you have to have proper commercial insurance. If it's just a small drone, you might just get away with applying for a flyer and operator ID, and you have to have that kind of stock on the top of the drone. If you want to do anything bigger, you'll have to go through other different courses to get qualifications. So yeah, there's quite a lot of regulation around it, but if you fly a small drone, it's not too onerous if you want to get into that. Any questions, let me know. There's a drone flyers on there. If you want to know any more, get in touch. Yeah.
you see them being sold on telly, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
God, they're selling these at 99 quid. They're quite cheap ones. You know, they're not just toys, especially if you
Yeah.
live near an airport. I think you can get in a lot of trouble for flying one near an airport.
Yeah, you can. I mean, some are classed as toys, literally, if it's less
Yeah.
than 250 grams. But anyway, there's lots of stuff.
I was thinking of getting
yeah.
one so that I can take an aerial shot of my head and maybe Daryl's.
I mean,
What
yes,
do
you'd
you
see
think?
that from space. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I was last night. I took my son to a EDM concert, and they had all of these flying drones. They had 85 cameras. It was a live event that was on a
Wow.
social media platform, and it was crazy. I mean, some of the drones crashed into people at the party, and they would flip them back over so they could fly back off and take more photos and stuff.
Oh, wow.
It was really crazy, the stuff that they had here to video the live event.
Yeah.
It's a big
Yeah,
deal.
it's pretty cool.
Drones
Yeah,
are a big
yeah.
part of things now. So
Yeah.
but they literally would fly the drone right on stage around the performer and back out and everything like that. I mean, this is cutting edge kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Cool.
That's been good
Awesome.
to see, but we better not drone on about it.
Better not
very
drone
good.
out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, while you're watching, make sure you like and also add your comments. We would love to hear from you, whether you're on any platform. We would love to hear from you, just like Don did. He says cheers and hello. You can go ahead and put in your comment and make sure you throw a like. And if you want to let other people know about us, please do. We're going to give away a domain later on in the broadcast. Let me just flash the domains that we have up for giveaway here. Hold on, I got to get Don off there. Turn Don off. There we go. Oh, I turned it back on. So, there we go. We got to turn.
He doesn't want to go. He wants to stay on screen all show.
Yeah, there we go. So these are the domains that we have from our website, Killer Brands. It's buildmorale.com, rankingsclub.com, affordableprices.net, and replybots.com. Those are what we're going to be giving away later today. So look forward to that about the top of the hour. Okay. All right. Well, we got a lot of information for you today. We're going to start probably with Simon, and he's always the one that's most prepared, so it gives us a chance to, take a sip of coffee.
I feel I'm doing more and more slides each week, and I think you guys are doing less and less preparation. So that's a good or a bad thing. So debatable, isn't it? But
yeah,
I've
fly by the
noticed
seat of my
trend.
pants.
Yeah.
I fly by the seat of my
it's
drone.
It's a joint discussion anyway. It's always good to have you guys input anyway. So it's just really to spur some discussion and see what we do. So yeah. So look, shall I just cover off what I'm going to talk about and go into it, guys? Does that work? Yeah. So I'm going to talk about what I'm calling embedded content. And if you just give me a second, I'm going to just add my screen to it. Hold on a second.
It doesn't mean planting flowers, guys. Embedding things.
No. Can you see that? Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
cool.
we can. Yeah.
Yeah. So embedded content. I'm really going to talk about things that you take from third-party sources and embed onto your web page. Could be WordPress, could be Squarespace, could be Wix, could be anything. So most of you will be doing it already. So things like YouTube and maps, but there's loads of other things you can embed onto a website. So contact forms. I'm going to talk about review widgets. You can take in social media feeds. You can actually add whole blogs now. There's countdown banners, countdown timers, banners, pop-ups, chatbot. There's a whole load of stuff which I'll talk through. And from an SEO perspective and I guess sort of website management perspective, there's some pros and some cons. So just briefly, one of the great pros of using embeds is that you can typically change the content centrally. So if you've embedded a contact form across, if you're into mass page building, 10, 20, 50, 100 websites, rather than changing the contact form individually, you can change it centrally and it'll update. So that's a real benefit. Same for banners and announcements and pop-ups. You can also bring in data from different sources, and it can also be used to enhance a website as well. So if you've got a basic website, you can use embeds to enhance the functionality. There's always a caution on these things. So one of the cautions is you may slow the page down if you've got a lot of external resources being used to power up your page. you're going to have to wait for those to be loaded typically, and then Google may penalize you or take a view on it if you've got particularly slow page load. So if one of those embeds doesn't load, it might be a long time for you to actually get the full page loaded. So that could be an issue. To put some of the fancier embeds in, you may require some paid software, so that you've got to build that into your business case. And depending on what the content is, it's not always indexed. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what gets indexed and what doesn't get indexed. I've got some examples, and we'll go through that. So I'm not actually going to do a full sort of set of slides. I'm actually going to use some embedding. So I'm just going to use some sort of live demos, and we'll talk through them. So I need to swap my screen over now. Hold on a second. Let me just change this over, guys. Sorry, that wasn't very slick, was it? Let me just see. All right, we're going to here. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, you can see that. So this is a thing I use. It's a micro blogging platform called BrickDo. So I've just put some of my notes in here, and what I've done is I've added different embeds to this page. So we've got YouTube, we've got Google Maps, we've got a reviews widget, we've got a banner, we've got a countdown, we've got events, we've got and a whole blog. And if you go to sundaylive.brick.do, you can go through this. So I'll go through this a little bit slower. And look, these are sort of fairly familiar things, so I don't think I'm telling anything anybody doesn't know, that you can embed YouTube onto a website page. So it's not a big deal. And here's obviously our Sunday Live video, and you can get the code. It's an iframe. You paste this code onto your website page. Often there's a HTML block or whatever that you can paste it into, and it will display. So that's what I've done there. You press that. I'm not going to press play because we'll have two sound streams going then, but that's one thing you do, and I think most people are probably doing that. If you're in your mass page, having a video on your page is good just for general SEO. I wouldn't put it on your home page, but certainly inside pages, content pages, pretty good. Another thing that's very common to do is Google Maps. So here's the London Eye, and if you look up the listing, you can get the code. Again, it's an iframe, and you can paste that into your page. So no big deal. Pretty standard stuff. One of the things I quite like to do, and this is something I'm using more with client websites these days, is a reviews widget. So this is something where you can just paste a code in. You can hook it up in the background to different feeds. So this is Google and Trustpilot and Facebook, I think, and you can take in all your feeds from these different areas. Now this is pretty good because it means it's automatic, so it's constantly being updated, and Google actually does read this content. I'll do a little test on this at the moment. So this uses a reviews widget, was provided by Elfsight, and there's a link in here which you can go to see Elfsight, and it's just a really simple piece of code, a script. So one of the questions about this is, that's great, but does Google actually see this content? Is it being indexed? Is it being seen? Particularly on reviews, you ideally want to see the content being indexed and maybe it popping up as using reviews schema. So if I go through to this, and I'm going to have to swap this around again, guys. Hold on. I've not worked out how to flip in a really slick way from one to the other. So let me just do this. So you'll be familiar using rich test results to check whether you've got schema coming up. And this is for the reviews widget, which I've put together. And this shows you that you're getting green ticks on reviews. So it puts in, there's 1,500 reviews. The best rating's 5, the worst is 1. There's an average. So this is getting picked up in there. The way Elfsight represents this, I think it's using it as product reviews, which is not maybe quite right. It's not quite a product. There's a yellow warning here for optional things, but certainly is a way of just easily enhancing your page. That's something it can do. So if we go back to my slides. Don't worry, guys. For next week, I'm going to work out how I flip over to this. So we did reviews, so that was fine. So it's quite nice if you're using like mass page. You wanted to maybe put like this reviews widget on at the bottom of every page of your mass page. It's a really nice way to embed the data. You could take it from a client feed. That would be pretty good, and we can see it being indexed by Google, which is nice. Here's another thing that Elfsight has. It's a banner. So again, if you wanted to have a banner at the top of the website, all this is dynamic content. So this can be changed in the back end in the Elfsight widget dashboard, and that can be changed. So you could have this banner on, I don't know, 1,000 websites, and you could change it in one place, and it would then change across all at one time, which I think is pretty good. If you're normally using announcements or banners, sometimes it could just be like a hard-coded image. It's going to be harder for you to change it, but this is actually all something that can be changed, and you can also change out the link as well. So I thought that was pretty good. A couple other ideas. I mean, there's scores and scores of different embeds and different tools you can use for this. Here's another one. If you had a special offer going, you had it maybe on 100 websites, you wanted to change the countdown, you could again have a countdown timer like this, change it around. This uses a different bit of software. This one's called Power, and you can go to the link there to see more about Power. It's a little bit like Elfsight, which is a collection of embeds. Again, the code's just very simple, and it's all controlled at the back end. So I could go in, actually edit that timer, change the timing, and make it something different. A couple more examples just to go through, just to give you a few ideas. So here is a Power microblog. So this one here has details about events coming up. So you could, if you had a community website or events, or again, if you wanted to post it in a number of places, you could use this pop-up, and that would be a way of keeping everyone updated in one place. And then something else which I found, this is literally something I found in the last day or two, which I think is really interesting. It's called Quick Blog. And this, you get a code and you embed it in your page, and it basically creates a whole blog. So these are some dummy articles I've put in, and I put my profile in, and the code is literally just that. But again, it's all in the back end. So you could, if you wanted to use Quick Blog, here's the link, you could have it in a client website. And if you wanted to manage a client's website, or your own potentially, or a mass page, you could change the content again centrally and send it in. So you potentially could, if you had this code embedded, you wouldn't need a login to somebody's website or go through the process of logging in. And this actually puts together a whole blog. So you can see I just press the read more, and I can see all the content coming up. So the big question here is this readable? Is it an embed? Is Google going to see it or whatever? So the best way to test that, again, I'm going to have to flip tabs here and come out. So let's just do that. Hold on. Any questions, guys, whilst I'm making a meal of swapping the slides over?
Well,
whilst we're going through all this?
I want to see what you're going to show here, because I want to see that it's showing up. And then I also would like to know about speed impact, if you've done any testing on that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just get to that. Hold on a second. Mobile friendly. So I'm using the mobile friendly test, and this just checks that the page is mobile friendly, and that's my blog post there. There's can AI replace human writers in content creation? So that is the URL there. So I've already done this test, and it gives the screenshot. So I've just looked at that. There's the screenshot. It doesn't see that, but it certainly sees the images. And the question is, does it see the text? Yeah, that's what we want to really know. So if I go into the HTML down here, and let me just I had it at the right place earlier on. Here we go. Look, here's the text of the article here. So it's in the rendered content. Wow. Yeah,
that's great.
So so that's good. So I've got a link actually to an article which I'll show you, so you can test this, and I've got the article from Google to verify, but this is something that is, here's the text. It's not hidden in an iframe. It's not something that Google's not, but as long as Google can see the rendered HTML, and this is Google's tool, this is the rendered page, it's HTML, but here is the content. So I believe, and I've literally just got this in the last couple of days, but I believe Google will see this and render it. So now, last example, and then we can have a bit of a chat about some of the stuff, is exit pop-ups. Again, you can just get like a WordPress plugin and make that work, and that's great. But here's one here. So here's the code. Here's Elfsight. So if I go to exit, it should trigger this. Is it going to trigger it? Oh no, I've already been in the I've been in the here before, and it's not doing it. Okay, so what to exit pop-ups do obviously is when you are about to leave, it will show it and it will pop up, and this one plays an automatic video, but I don't think we're going to be able to get that to work without doing something. Well, no, I'll do incognito. I'll show it. Let's just do it properly. All right, let me just. So can you see this?
I see the exit pop-up instructions here, but with the code, I don't see the pop-up coming up.
You have to share your entire screen to be able to writing's over.
Okay. Let's right. One last try, and then I will see if it can go. Right, there we go. There you go. Can you see that? No?
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah. So there's an extra.
Say hey to Jarvis. Your AI.
So that just triggers when you basically leave there. So again, it's something that you could have running centrally. If you had it across 100 websites, you could change it once and it's there all over. I mean, I think some of these things I've tested and they don't seem to be coming up in the rich test results. So I think there's robots blocking them, but certainly on the quick blog, which is what you showed, it definitely seems to show in there. So I think it's quite interesting from a way of delivering content. And that new app, they say they've got a feature where you can import Google Sheets and create multiple blogs from a spreadsheet. Now, obviously, if you're into bulk content creation, that's pretty good. Now, I've not tested it yet. I've downloaded the spreadsheet. I need to do my own stuff on it, but I'm quite excited about that because if you can deliver 50 articles and change the timings of it, you could drip feed it in every 2 days, load it up from a spreadsheet, take the content from Article Forge or wherever, something like that. That could be quite good. And then you can paste it into a site, and then you can put it in your client site or your mass pages. And I think that's pretty smart, really. It's all centrally. So these are the benefits of central embeds. Maybe should have a better word for it. But on speed, I've not done any speed tests specifically for this, and I've not tested Quick Blog. I have tested ElfSite and other things. It definitely slows things down, but it slows things down in the same way that YouTube or a Google Map is going to slow things down, because it needs to call out to a third-party resource to get the resource. Now, some of these things are fairly small, so a countdown timer or a banner, I don't think it's going to take too much. I would argue that a YouTube embed is going to take longer, because it needs to obviously render the first image from the video or the thumbnail, and it needs to call that from YouTube. So I think there's more in there, but I haven't got any stats for this. But that's my belief, and it's worth sort of doing your own testing on that. But certainly use rich test results to check for the schema. Use mobile test results to check for the rendered HTML content can be seen, and then do page speed insights for some speed testing, and do your own research and see what you get, really. But I would never use those kind of things on a homepage, because I think you want your homepage to be as fast as it can be. But for a content page, a cornerstone page, a blog post, I'd be comfortable putting that in the back of those pages, just to enrich the content. It's going to help dwell time, and that's going to be good for your SEO, I would say, anyway. So that's my summary. Don't know if you got any thoughts, guys, Steve or Daryl, or any of that. Do you use these sorts of things?
I actually love ElfSite, by the way.
Yes, it's my favourite. Yeah,
I've installed it on a lot of customer sites. One of the features I do love about it is that you can pull in reviews from various sites like Facebook, Trustpilot, some of those sort of things, and they automatically line up Google as well, all in one little widget. And what's really cool is I had a customer pay me month after month, and suddenly the payment stopped. I thought, what's going on there? So I messaged them to say, hi, any reason the payments have stopped? And they said, oh, someone else is doing all my site. And okay, no problem. So I went to ElfSite, deleted the widget, left it at that, and because I wasn't going to pay for them to carry on having that. And I saved all the data. And they messaged me this week going, do you know any reason why all the reviews have stopped working? And I went, well, unfortunately, that was linked to our servers. You're not paying now, and we've just turned it off. Anyway, they've re-signed back up with me now, and I've put the widget back on. Yeah,
and you can provide that as a service, because if you have to go and buy it yourself, I think it's something like $20, $30 a month to get that reviews functionality in ElfSite. So you could easily have your own clients and charge them a maintenance fee for supporting that, and make it into a service. So I think it's a good one. Even some of the WordPress plugins on Google Reviews are $30, $40 a year. So you could certainly put something together just as part of a package. So
This is really cool. I wonder that blog with Power. This is POWR. In case you guys missed what he was talking about, I wonder if you could insert something inside of that as HTML. Like, could you put an iframe inside of that post per se, or something like that. And would that render on the front end of the other site is straight text? So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Power does support this microblog, and you can embed a blog, and it can be either embedded on a page or completely self-hosted. And you can certainly add HTML to that. And brick.do, which is the microblog that I'm using just for this demo, that's something you can add a lot of different content in. So all the stuff I've embedded there is in brick.do, and that's a great app. And then quick blogs, another option as well. So I think there's a lot more of these sort of micro blogging platforms that are coming up, and certainly compared to setting up WordPress from scratch, even if you're fast and you're duplicating plugins, you've got a backup set up. Brick is pretty much instant. You literally just type it. You don't even have to press save, and the stuff's there. So I think anything that can take Google Sheet, Brick can't do this, but QuickBlog can. Anything can take Google Sheets information and put it in, instantly publish it without some of the rigmarole of WordPress is got to be interesting. So as long as Google can see it, which I think it can in some instances, it's got to be useful.
Yeah, I like this a whole lot, because I mean, in the past we kind of had to use like iframes and things like that to kind of power content into, you know, your whole network of sites. Like, you know, say you have a whole network of 100 locksmith sites, and you want to have, like, you know, a services page that you can update across the entire network. Well, you could make a Power mini blog for each one of those. If that content's going through, that would be amazing. And then the next question is, if you have Magic Page plugin on it with the spin text, wonder if you put things in spin text in that blog, if it would decode on the front end side.
I've not tested it. That's one of the things I want to get to next on QuickBlog, particularly, is to look at spin text, because then that really would work for mass page, wouldn't it? But they don't say they support it. I'd be surprised if they did. But it could be a feature request. I think this thing is literally brand new, so it's interesting to see where they could go with it. It's very appealing, in my view, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, what would probably happen is it might work sometimes and not other times, just because it's going to pull the information from the JavaScript, but then it has to have Mike's tool go in and spin it. So that's a two-step process there, and it would have to know to do that. So I don't know that it would work, but it's, I always like break. I like to break stuff. Yeah. So
maybe you could make one for us, Daryl. I know you've got a lot of stuff on, but maybe an extra project would be a micro blogging spin text
gives
platform.
Me some ideas. Gives me some ideas.
Maybe if you could put that together for next week, that would be really awesome.
For next week, I don't
know
give
you two. We'll give you 2 weeks on it. How about that?
Yeah, I love it. Nice job. Great presentation.
Yeah.
You make us look good. We appreciate that. So Steve, you had a couple of things you wanted to touch on, and right?
Yeah, really. There's a couple of things. I know that people on the Inner Circle mentoring group for DFY themes, with the we use a system from Cadence called Cadence Blocks, and I don't mind sharing that with people. And it's a great little system. The thing that we found out is there's been some updates on SSL security on the servers that Mike Martin supplies and that I supply, and I'm working with the server team to fix this issue, because what's happening and this is why there's a further little delay with the Blocks Club at the moment, is that when you go to connect up to the Blocks Club, it comes back with saying connection error. And it works with most hosts. I found another issue elsewhere, and with one of my other hosting companies. So I'm working with them and also Cadence to get that issue resolved. And so it's one of those things that when you work with third-party companies, that spanners get thrown in the works. But on a positive note, been working really hard this week. We've updated the members area now for our current defiers, as I like to call them, and we're using an awesome plugin, and I don't mind sharing this either. If you're looking to set a membership site up of your own, digital access pass is what I'd recommend. All right. I've been playing around with it at the moment. We were with another one. I'm not going to name them to dish them, but unfortunately they try blaming the hosting for the API key to stop working, and that in turn people couldn't log in to into the membership sites. We've been testing DAP, Digital Access Pass, and it's absolutely brilliant, absolutely amazing, really reliable. And the cool thing about it, when you sign up with them, and I'm not an affiliate of them in any way, so I'm not giving out a link tonight. You can go and Google them yourself. The only reason I'm recommending them is because if you go for the top package, they will jump on a call with you. They give you 3 hours of setting everything up. And I've used an hour up already with them, and I recorded the conversation. They don't mind you doing that. And they walked me through the settings on one of my sites and got all the basics set up. The team that are there respond very quickly compared to the current membership software I've been using, where you send them an email and they come back to you 24, 48 hours later if they can be bothered. With Digital Access Pass, I send them an email, and at the very most, obviously they don't always work weekends, but at the very most, I send a message on a Monday, and either that day or the very next day they come back to you, and that's what I love about the support from them. So with all that we are doing, we're revamping all of the membership on Lead Gen Magic and also on DFY Magic Themes. There's a lot involved with it, a lot of work. I've been doing very long hours, so and by the way, guys, thank you. I had a lot of nice private messages when I posted last night at 4:46 a.m. I put on my own personal page. It was basically Facebook going, "What's on your mind?" And I went, "It's 4:46 a.m. That's what's on my mind, Facebook." And basically, because of my fibromyalgia, I've been up most of the night awake, and so I decided to put that on because I thought, I love that comment, that little thing, "What's on your mind?" on Facebook. And so that's what I was doing there. But something else I wanted to briefly touch on is there's a lot of ums and ers when it comes down to indexing your site, whether you're doing a mass page site or not. And if you're doing a smaller site, let's say you're doing a 5-page website, then I would say there's no harm in linking it up to the Google Search Console and telling them that you're there. If you're doing a bigger site, like let's say a mass page site, keep your pages, I say, under 200 pages max when you first build it. The way I prefer to build a mass page website is I'll build all the main pages. Let's say it's 10 to 15 pages in total. And once you've done those 10 to 15 pages, then get Google to add it. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. You can do the Search Console, but I personally think when you're doing a lead gen site or a site you're going to rank and rent, I think you're better leaving it. But what you can do is do a search on Google for sites that will ping your site and let Google know it's there. And I think that's sometimes a bit more natural. And also get citations done. So get a link on Facebook, get a YouTube video on your site somewhere. Now, something I've recently done, and this is coming, the reason I'm talking about this is coming back to about Simon and the embeds, right? What I like to do on the front page, instead of putting up a complete video that's going to slow the site down, I will put a still image up and I'll create it in Usign with a big round red button with a play. When they click on that, it opens a new window with a video. And then I set the video, I have software that will set the video to auto play from when they hit that button. That means then it's not slowing the front page down of your site so much. There's no harm in having a video on your front page, and most of my tests using Gutenberg and Cadence blocks, actually, there isn't a lot of difference in speed. I've noticed speed issues when you embed a video using Elementor, Divi, Option Page Builder, any of the page builders that you need a plug-in for them to work with the system, that seems to slow it down a bit more. But ultimately, if you've optimized your images, and that's where the magic form with Daryl comes in, because you can upload those images, re-optimize them to the right size very quickly, and then embed them onto your site and serve them from his CDN, or you can download them and upload them again. And I think that's a great advantage if you resize your images. If you're someone that doesn't know how to resize images, then do go to mass.page and have a look at those tools, because the magic form, you just if you just use it for that, you whack your images in, hit a button, and then re-download them resized. It saves a lot of time. You can do those in blocks. Once you've got your image sizes right, your site will speed up anyway, whether you're using Elementor, Divi, Oxygen, or Gutenberg. And so I've done some tests recently in Elementor, where I actually re-optimized the images using Daryl's form and put those back onto a site. And I had a clone of the site before I did it. And the speed in Elementor was something like 28% on mobile, close to 50% on desktop. Once I optimized the images, it actually jumped up to 58% on mobile and closer to 78-80% on desktop. And then there's some other plugins you can put on to, minify stuff and mess around, but be careful not to break your site, and you'll find that'll speed up. So coming back to the videos, what you can do, like I said, is you create a still image, optimized image with a play button on it, which will make people want to click on it. When they click on it, you tell it to open a new window, and in that window is the video from YouTube, and that'll stop that speed issue if you're someone that hasn't got time to re-optimize all your images, but you want some videos on your front page. And I think that's sort of a good way of doing it when you're setting up your site. I think there's some plugins out there, and someone may tell me what they are. I did see one a while back that you could load a video and it would load the thumbnail on the front page when you embed it, first of all, and then when you click play, it then brings the video in. So there may still be something like that on the market.
It's Presto Player. If you look that up,
there we go. So there
that's
we go.
WP Crafter, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's the guy behind it. Yeah, Presto Player. Yeah.
So Presto Player can obviously do that for you, and I knew I'd seen something somewhere. But the main thing to remember with any WordPress site is the minimal amount of plugins you can have on the site, the better. The moment you start having, I worked on a client site that had 62 plugins on it, and I said to him, "What are all these plugins doing?" I don't know. So I cloned the site onto a new domain name for testing purposes, disabled all the plugins, and enabled them one by one to see what made the site work. Once I knew what was working with the site, I deleted all the others. We went from, like I said, 60 odd plugins down to 10. And then I worked out another way then after that of converting it. Now, because I'm super lazy, I've done another one since then. And what I actually did was I used 10web. I actually just cloned the site straight away using 10web to clone it from the existing site into Elementor, and then put the site up with very few plugins based on that. It just literally grabs all the content. The disadvantage of 10web, it doesn't always get it right, and you have to do some tweaks. But once again, that's another product which we have talked about in the past. And Don's very kindly put the link in for Presto Player. So do always have a think about what you're going to use, how many plugins. You keep it to a minimum, and I think your site will speed up. And I mean, like I said, with embeds, Elf sites, I haven't had any issues with speed. They seem to optimize what they're doing, and I'm sure the other things that Simon's recommended tonight will be very similar.
Yeah, I was going to say that one of the nice things about those embeds is if it does slow down the page, it'll only slow down one page. But if you're obviously putting a plugin, that's applied across the entire WordPress site. So, 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever, 60 plugins your client get, that's going to have an impact across all pages across the entire site. So I think embeds is quite a nice thing just to do on one. But again, I wouldn't go mad. I'd be careful. But if you think it enhances the experience and makes people want to use the site, that's good. Yeah.
And I've been having great fun this week with domain kicks. I'll tell you what, I'm absolutely loving it. I've got some really good gems. I'm not going to tell you what the gems are, but I've had some great gems come up which I bought, and I'm planning on doing a few sites to flip. And I think what I'll do, I'm gonna find another one this week, and I'll when I'm flipping the site, I will make sure that I do a bit of a recording of it, and once it's sold and gone, I'll probably share it.
Yeah, that sounds good. So you're getting a bit of domain addiction like Daryl's got,
Oh, I was up to one. I think I'm up to about 189 domains now in my collection.
wow,
sounds good.
Yeah, and that's good. Not just all with one registrar. I don't believe in leaving it one registrar.
Yeah.
Same as I stopped using GoDaddy because some years back I got a fantastic domain name. They asked me to confirm my details, which I did, and then they said I couldn't have the domain name.
Yeah.
So
I've had some problems with
Mm.
GoDaddy just the last couple of weeks. I was trying to change the name server on something, and it just wouldn't allow me to do it through the dashboard. I raised it with support. I was on the phone for 20 minutes, and just ended up being quicker just to transfer the domain out to somebody else than actually wait for them to fix it. So
it is.
yeah, it's been good generally, but yeah, I've had a few issues recently.
There we go.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? Don said domain junkie. I think he's calling you a domain junkie there, Stephen. It's not me this time. Finally.
Yeah, I'm scared to get into it. Really, it might just wean me off my lifetime deal addiction, but it might also mean that I've got two addictions there, both domains and lifetime deals. So I'm a bit scared to spend too much time exploring it, if I'm honest. Actually,
talking about lifetime deals, there's been a lot of talk in the groups about a particular product. I won't name the product, but what I do love about AppSumo, I've had a few products in the past that were meant to be lifetime that disappeared. I've raised a support ticket with AppSumo, and they give me back my money. So I'm super impressed with AppSumo on that point of view.
Yeah.
That and one of the products was something like 180. Yeah. I think one of the products was like 2 years old, and they said lifetime on it, and I just dropped a message to AppSumo saying this has stopped working. Can you find out what's going on? And they came back and said, so sorry, the developers disappeared. Here's your money back. And I was quite surprised at that. So
yeah, I think they are good. I've had that as well. Yeah,
I think they want to look after their customers, which I think is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's the risk, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Go on.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I guess I'm going to jump on and share a few things here. So first of all, I want to thank our subscribers on our Mass Page Tools YouTube channel. We're up to 802 subscribers. So we've surpassed the 800 mark. So thank you guys for subscribing. If you're watching this on a replay, make sure you do subscribe and throw the thumbs up at our way if you like the content we're putting out there. Also, if you want to join our Mass Page group inside of Facebook, just look for Mass Page Tools. And it is groups/Mass Page, and that'll get you to our group. And you can go ahead and sign up. We talk about everything about building websites, lead generation, SEO, domaining, things like that, buying and selling and flipping domains, flipping websites, things like that. So you're welcome to join us and participate in that. It's a fun group. A lot of people share some good information in there. So we'd love to have you join us for that. All right. So we're working this past week. We've been working on Siphon. One of the things that we've been having some difficulties with is the way that it scrapes the content. So we built from the ground up our own separate scraper from the one that we had originally. So look for that to come out in the next week or so, where it will do a much better job with getting the data when you do like an RSS feed or you're doing like a search type of thing. It will pull a lot more content from there. So I'm not going to show it right now because we're still busy working on it, but it's definitely going to be a much more helpful thing, and we'll use it for other parts of our projects as well. I want to point out Mike Martin's website. His YouTube channel. Mike Martin is the maker of Lead Simplify, a Magic Page plugin, and the WP Schema plugin. The second video has about 391 views. It should have 3,000 views because it's phenomenal. He talks about golden nuggets for Magic Page and how this guy gets 2,000 leads a month. And he just kind of got started. But this guy, I think his name is Kashra Dash. He was talking a little bit about what he does with changing the slugs with the import-export part of Magic Page plugin. He goes through with Mike how to do the slugs inside of Excel. So if you do get a chance, do watch this. We've done this. I've kind of known this for a while. I've always changed the slugs on sites that I really care about doing really well. So inside of Geoholics, when you do a output, So example, I'll just show you here if you can see my screen. We'll go ahead and hit California because that's what I was working on. And then we just do 90. So that's zip codes that start with 90. Okay. And you'll see down here at the bottom that there's 171. Okay. So if you go over here, if you have the enterprise plan, you'll have GeoHolics. But if you click on this here, you'll get this zip file. And then if you open it up, let's see if I can open it on the screen here. It's open. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on a second. I'm looking at the wrong thing. All right. Let's see. So if we open this up, you'll see the way we do this with GeoHolics is this is a little bit different than the data set that comes with Magic Page plugin. You'll see that the location slug has the abbreviated state. So it'll be Avalon/CA instead of just Avalon-1-2-3. So, that's how I've been doing it. We also have the major cities in here. So instead of just 5 major cities, we have, many more major cities that can come up in your Magic Page plugin system. So you'll be able to, sort of silo the pages a little bit better. But so that's one of the things that we were doing. But now I just want to show you this other website that I started working on after I saw this video. It sort of changed my thinking about how, because I've always thought the slug was extremely relevant. And that's why I always position the root slug in Magic Page plugin to the specifics. So I just want to show you this right here. This is a website I started working on for somebody this weekend. And if you look at the slug here, I'll just magnify it so you can see it. So here's the website, and then they're selling oil paintings, custom art, and framing. So I put that in here in the Magic Page slug, okay? But then what I did is I massaged the data for the pages so that it has the name of the city, it has the abbreviated state. So then I went a little over the top and I put in the county, just like he was doing. And I put in the state again, and I put in the zip code, all right? So the way I did that was just following the same things that they had in the video, okay? And I basically took, the cells for the location name and the zip code, the county, and the state, and I put it all in here. So you can't see the formula that I use because I turned this all into regular text after I did it, but I did it all with the same formula that he's talking about. And so each one of these I made, this all came from the export from Magic Page plugin. So to get the root to do this with, if you're in Magic Page plugin, let's see if I'm on here. So what you'll want to do is there's a few steps that I don't think they mentioned too much in this, but if you go into your Magic Page and you go to your settings and you go to import export right here, okay, and you do the export of your locations, all right. And you can say, I'm going to say 6 or 8,000 just because that's probably the max you can do. And I'm going to do an export. And it's going to make a file, a single file. I think it's 6,700 cities. Yeah. So we'll download that. And then that's where we'll go ahead and we'll make the thing. So we're waiting for the file to show up here. All right. And we're going to save link as. And I think you can just download it by clicking. I'm not sure. There we go. So I might, because of StreamYard, it's going a little bit slow on this machine. So let's see.
It always does when you're sharing your screen, doesn't it?
Yeah. So basically what you will do is once you get this Excel file, I got to keep it here. Hold on, so. I put keep. There we go. There's the file. All right. So this is the data that comes from Magic Page plugin. So what you'd want to do to do what he does in this is to go here and delete all these, the term IDs. Okay. Everything else stays the same. Okay. Let me just go ahead and show you what else you would do. So the rest is the location slug. Oh, actually, this is coming back because these I already saved from the original, so it doesn't have the ones that came default with Magic Page plugin. So let's go back to explain what I meant by that. Hold on one second here. When you have your location data sets directly from Magic Page, there's a map that has all of the different cities and everything in it. So if you go into Magic Databases over here under Settings and Magic Page Databases, that's where you're going to load like the state or the region that you're looking for. Anywhere in the world, he's got data from all over the place, right? So you go ahead and you're going to want to load all those in. You can use the filters or what have you. Then you can export that, okay, doing the same method I just showed you. And then you won't have the slug the way I have it. You'll have the slug. I'm not going to go through it because we've already gone through a lot of time here. But the slug you could go ahead and change and just follow the instructions. I don't want to take away this video. This video should have 10 times the views it has because it's really, really good. Again, it's video. It says Magic Page Gold Nuggets discovered. It's the second video on Mike Martin's channel, and it's phenomenal. In fact, what I would like to do is hopefully Mike will go ahead and make a change so he can. Yes, Colin, you got it right. It's putting a dash in between those quotes and move basically those different cells together. So you can do it any which way you want, whichever way you think is most relevant. But when you put it together like that, you have a much more powerful slug. And a powerful slug can help you with your keywords by a whole lot, especially if it all matches up. Your slug matches up with your title, matches up with your information in your page, and your H2 tags and things like that. You're going to be in really good shape. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that so far? Anybody? Okay.
Not for me. No, looks good.
Okay. One other thing is, one of the things I've been messing around with is this WP Performance plugin, and I'm using Bunny CDN. So let me just show you a little the stack here, WP Performance. I'll make sure I get the right plugin for you here. Because if you guys are looking for good scores and not having to pay a whole lot, this is a good plugin. It is WP Space Performance, and it's by Ante Laka. It has a lot of different features to it that the big boys are putting in. I'll show you the settings that I have in here. I have under cache, I have cache enabled. I have 10 hours. Clear cache when a new post is published, right? I put the sitemap in here, which I get the sitemap from Magic Page. Now, Magic Page 6.5 has a sitemap, so I put that in there, and that helps. I leverage browser caching, enable gzip, okay? CSS, I don't do anything. JavaScript, I just check mark these three things on the side here. So I disable JavaScript optimization for login, so you don't have any weird stuff happen when you're doing builder stuff. Asynchronous load JavaScript and minify inline JavaScript I check. Then I just do the optimize yes on the HTML and the minify normal. I remove comments because I'm not interested in comments at this point. I leave everything else the same. leave that off. Everything in media, I leave off. I have some problems with lazy loading, causing some issues for people. CDN, I use bunny.net for that, and I'll show you that. So then I just go to Benny CDN, and I just put it. I'm not going to show you the zone, but I just go ahead and do that. So the performance gained from doing it that way was quite substantial. I'll show you. This is let me see. This is one of the pages here. That's a magic page, and I wanted to show you this tool. It's called .com-tools.com. So it's .com-tools.com. Let me just put that in the discussion here. If you guys can put that up there. If we put the website that we were just looking at here into there, okay. I find that this does a really good job because it can check it from multiple locations. I even pay, I think, a little bit for it. And it will check it twice. So you'll get 2 checks from this one's checking from 3 places in the US, but you can have a check for anywhere in the world for you. Okay. And when I first optimized this site, it was over 8 seconds. Okay, now we're getting much better numbers here. And I'll show you this particular server is not mine. This is a client server, so the speed and performance isn't as good. But my part, the SEO with Magic Page, is 100. So I'll show you a site that's on my server that we've optimized in a similar way. And you can see how well this thing does as far as giving you the core web vitals and the loading times all in one place. I don't know, Simon, have you ever seen this tool before?
No, not seen that tool.
Okay.
No.
So this gives
It's
you
a really nice tool.
everything.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah.
Instead of tools.pingdom, so it gives you everything right there. And then if you click on it, it gives you the Lighthouse report, which should load that a little faster. Okay, so it shows you the performance and everything that you would see for GT metrics, basically, and page speed insights. So again, it's .com-tools. I'll go ahead and put that inside of the group in here so that you guys can see that. But that's what I have to share for you guys today. If you have any questions, thanks for sharing that on there. And
so with the CDN part, you're just taking like an API details or something and pasting into the actual plugin. Is that right?
Yeah, I used a lot of different ones. I use StackPath, of course. I use bunny.net, a few different ones. It used to be called Bunny CDN, but bunny.net. They're super affordable. Like over the last few years with Bunny, I think I've spent 8 cents in my account. So it's like, I don't have a lot of sites on it, but I'm starting to do more because they've really improved things, improved things quite a bit now. So
the reason I asked the question is I used to be a big fan of NitroPack, but the problem I found with them, some hosts now have got extra security that stops NitroPack from communicating with their own plugin. So you have to then get that security released. I'd be interested to test it out on my hosting, where we connect up. We have to have a chat in the week, Daryl, and test it on a site where we connect up the CDN in that way. Because there was a product released a while back on, might have been JVZ or somewhere. Someone went, optimize your site is fantastic. What you didn't realize after you signed up was you had to move all your stuff onto their servers. And I don't like that, because if they suddenly like lifetime hosting that are offered on some of these JV products, how long is it going to be around for? With what like you do and what I do, Daryl, it's very much set up in a way that we've got monthly incomes coming in to support those products. So anyone who we've offered any sort of lifetime hosting to, they know their hosting is going to be around for years because we are going to support it. But when it comes to a JV product where someone says lifetime hosting, and I've seen them on AppSumo.
Yeah.
You wonder how long, you put your site on there. Is it going to be around in 5 years' time? What's the lifetime of hosting?
Yeah,
I paid 6 years up front on mine to make sure that it never runs out.
Yeah, it's food and water and shelter, right? Your website hosting is like that in the digital world. These are things you don't want to mess around with and have somebody else in control of. You want to make sure that you control your own hosting in some manner as best you can. That means backups. That means having your own thing that you're in charge of and things like that. But definitely back it up. If you're with one of these hosts that you don't control everything, you should back things up anyway. It's a really good important thing to do that. So
but what a great tool, and I'd be interested to see the improvements on it using it on some of the sites I've set up. What's the plugin called again for anyone who missed it?
The plugin that I use for the SEO or for the optimization was WP Performance, and I used bunny.net. And so with that combination, it worked pretty well on this kind of a shared platform. So try it out. Maybe it doesn't work great for everybody, but it worked good for me. So all right,
that's good.
Awesome. Well, I guess it's time, guys, to start putting your names in the comments. Go ahead and put your first and last initial. We'll go ahead and put you into the wheel of names. So we're going to go ahead and add this to the stream here. So I'll clear out the last one here that we had and go ahead and bunny as in rabbit.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. So we've got Don, George, Paul D, Paul P, Colin K.
Any more names?
Walter M, David.
David Tulloch.
Yeah. If you're not in it, you can't win it.
Let's show what you guys can win. So we're grabbing domains directly from our killer brands. So these are ones that I sell for over $500 at least. So here are the domains this week: buildmorale.com, rankingsclub.com, affordableprices.net, and replybots.com. All right. So again, buildmorale.com, rankingsclub.com, affordableprices.net, and replybots.com. Okay. All right. Make sure you're putting your names in. Let's see.
We've got somebody else, Julian Thomas there, another person to add in there.
Okay. C3C Pod. Hope you guys are getting good value. Make sure you like the video. If you're watching on replay, we always appreciate that. OP, we'll call it.
OP, yeah.
Online power. All right. Anybody else, throw your name in if you'd like to win one of those 4 domains tonight. This is sort of the last thing we do before we start taking your calls.
And it's fair to say that we're only accepting entries from real people, aren't we? So we're not accepting any entries from bots or other sort of types of, sort of spam entries. So it's real people only.
A little sus about Julian Thomas with no picture there on Facebook. That one has me a little bit wondering.
There's Nabila. I don't know if they're going to be in the list.
Oh, let me add Nabila. Yeah, let's add that. Nabila 1L.
And of course, you have 14 days to claim your domain. Otherwise, it's put back into the pool of domains, and that's including transferring it. And Daryl will make sure you are real and that you're not a bot before you actually get it. So if you win tonight, you're a bot, you ain't going to keep the domain. So
reply bots need not apply.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna replace Steven with Don. His jokes are better.
That is true, and he has a lot more hair. Let's be honest.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest. My goodness. All right. So last call, guys. Last call to get your names in for the domains. Again, let's just flash these on here. These are some good ones from killerbrands.com. And we find these domains from our tool, domainkicks.com. So if you don't have domain kicks, go to domainkicks.com. We have a promo code to take 40% off. It's kick40, KICK 40. Okay. And you can get 40% off domain kicks right now as we're just kind of getting that up and running for everybody. All right. Anybody else? Last call for the name of Wheel of Names. Oh, there goes Steven. He's disappearing on us. Wow. That's interesting. He's got his back is getting bigger on the screen.
There's two of me now, two for the price of one. Look.
Oh boy. Here, let me see if we can solo. How do we do this? There we go.
There we go.
Wow.
Two, me on telly.
Nice.
Hello, Mum.
All right. Let's see here. All right. You guys good to go? I think we got everybody.
Yeah, I think we've got everyone. Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and spin the wheel. Spin the wheel and see who's gonna get these choice of domains. Is it gonna be Paul or George? It's Paul D.
Yeah. Well done.
Paul D.
Well done, Paul.
Let's see. Paul D. California Architect. Please go ahead and let us know which domain you would like. We'll go ahead and we'll flash this back on here while I set up the guest line here. So if you guys are going to watch that, I'll go ahead and
got some good domain names there. I do like Rankings Club. That's quite affordable. Prices.net and reply bots. You can put a sort of a bot site on there offering bots or something. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do like Rankings
Chatbot
Club.
review site. Yeah.
Rankings
Clubs, obviously. Yeah. That's pretty good.
And really nice. So, are you guys out of interest? Are you guys finding that other extensions on domains are now ranking just as good as .coms or .co.uk's? Because I was playing around one the other day, and it was outranking a .co.uk local to me, and that was a .cu that I bought. So I was quite surprised. I'm assuming once again it comes down to content is king at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think
content.
I think in some respects it can outrank them, especially when it spans the dot. In other words, like mass.page spans the dot. It's on the keywords are on both sides of the dot. So I think that that's definitely something that you could definitely say. But as far as I really think that the domain itself isn't the only thing. That the domain extension isn't the only thing. I think there's a lot of other factors that we always talk about each week. On page and of course the speed and how well it's optimized and things like that. And then also remember click-through rate. If click-throughs are coming in from that particular country, it's a good chance it's going to rank well for that particular country. So those are factors that I would suggest matter probably more than just the domain. Bill Morales, good one to write reviews about the LTDs out there. Lifetime deals. So a dot service or dot repair are good to go after. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, if it's a plumber dot service, that would be. I think that would be phenomenal. If you get something like that, or then you could do the subdomain could be the city, and then plumber.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. Yeah,
service. You could always do that. Make it really short. I think that there's a lot of things you could do with subdomains too that make it more relevant. So, California Architect CA, if you could tell us which letter you want, We always appreciate that. And then we'll tell you how to reach out to me at daryl.chat is the website. That's daryl.chat is where to reach me. And anybody else needs to reach me, myself or my team will talk to you there if you would like to. I don't use Facebook Messenger because the spam has gotten out of control with it. But just go to daryl.chat, DARYL.chat, and we can talk to you on there if you want about your domain. All right. So we won't hold up any more time. We do want to get going with a few questions. So if you go to go.ht/guest, we can go ahead and take your comments and questions. So we're going to go ahead and open up that
otherwise I'd have to put up with two of me, one asking the questions and the other one answering them.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that, Steve. That's all we'll say.
So, my goodness. All right.
I mean, it's not so bad, two for the price of one. I mean, I've just put Daryl on telly now, so there we go. So.
All right. You guys are wonderful. Thank you guys so much for getting us over 800 subscribers on the YouTube channel. We really appreciate that. Make sure that you put a little thumbs up and share it if you can, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. We always try to give you some great value every single week, and that's something we always like to do if we can. Dana, I'm sorry we missed you, buddy. Dana put his name in, but we already did the drawing for the domain, so you got to get here a little bit earlier. It starts at 5 o'clock, and we do the giveaway just before. I think just around 6 o'clock, we gave that away today. So missed some good ones, but don't worry, we'll have more for you. Dana picked up Domain Kicks, and he's having a good time with it, giving us some great suggestions on things that we can do to improve it. And we're taking a lot of his suggestions and making them happen. So really looking forward to building that with him. So as other people are giving feedback as well. All right, so go.ht/guest if you would like to jump on with us today. We'll love to have you come on with us. If not, we'll close up the show and we'll get ready for another Sunday Live next week at 5 o'clock. Okay. Again, if you guys are looking to get a Domain Kicks while we still have the deal, it's domainkicks.com. And go ahead and go to the pricing page. If you get the lifetime deal or monthly deals, you can kick 40% off right now while this lasts. Kick 40. And the other nice thing about it, if you get the lifetime, you also get a lifetime of Leads Detective, which is valued at almost $1,500 for that lifetime. So definitely get domainkicks.com while we're, before we start adding all the features, and we'll be forced to charge more money for it. So get in early, like with other of my software. I always give people the first shot early to get it super cheap, and then we always add more and more to it as time goes. And those people that got in early and trusted it early get to win the benefits of all that. So that's what I like to do for that. Now, while we're waiting for anybody to join us, does anybody in this group that is watching today want to see another webinar for Menterprise Publishing? If you do, put in Ment, M-E-N-T, if you want to see a Menterprise webinar, because we haven't done one in a couple of months, and we have some people doing really well with it. So let me know which
in a nutshell, Daryl, explain to people that are new to watching us or don't understand what Menterprise is, just in a rough nutshell, what does it do and how would it benefit somebody who was going to grab it?
Yeah, so Menterprise Publishing, so there's two products. One's called Menterprise Content, and one is called Menterprise Publishing. Menterprise Content kind of pulls the content in from leading pages on Google for whatever topic you put in. It also is sort of a Swiss Army knife for gathering your content and putting it all together to put into Menterprise Content. Primarily and mostly. Okay, 3 season pod. Okay. So if we can, get the information over to the publisher is like unbelievable how fast it can publish pages out and schedule them out and things like that. We have some tools that we're going to start building for enterprise publishing directly into Mass Page Tools. It'll just kind of give people an upper hand. And one of the tools we're really trying to get out to get working for everybody would be ImageFly, which is about 60% done right now for what we want. And so we're going to be working on that in the next few weeks to finish that up. We've been busy with some other things, so it kind of moved us offline there with that. But yeah, we're going to have some tools where you're going to be able to massage and change the template and things like that. So we get a lot of things in store for you guys for enterprise publishing with the Mass Page Tools as well. So anywhere that we can make some tools that can help you guys to build better sites in Mass Page so you stay indexed and keep the quality up, that's what it's all about there. So, all right.
I think I broke my camera.
Yeah, I think you did. You maybe overdid it.
So it's a big improvement. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks, Simon. Always complimenting me as always.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, guys. Last chance for go.ht/guest if you want to join us and pick on our hairdos or glasses, whatever it is. Call us Four Eyes.
It's a great opportunity to come and ask us questions as well. There may be something that we've talked about tonight, from embedding items on your website to speeding up your site with certain plugins. So if there's something you want to ask us, we've just got a few minutes left to bring you in. So do come and join us. Go.ht/guest. Is that right, Daryl?
That is it. Go.ht/guest. Yep.
So you just got a couple of minutes to hop in. I know there's always a little bit of a delay, so we'll give you a moment or two, and you're quite welcome to come and join us and come and ask us a question. If there's no questions tonight, then we can all go off and have a nice cup of tea and chill out. So
I have to be somewhere in about 20 minutes anyway, so I'm okay with us ending here. So.
Yeah, George is observing, obviously rapidly declining hairline now. He's pointing out that it's probably
he's catching us up.
A wig. Yeah, that's it. This is what the transformation is. Just give it 3 months, we'll all be like twins. Be like
triplets.
Triplets. Yeah,
all with glasses on.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh well.
All right, guys. I think that's it for today. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're watching on any of our channels for this program. We do it every single Sunday at 5 o'clock. We do the giveaway just around the top of the hour at 6 o'clock, and we'll see what the next one provides. We're going to have another list of 4 that you can pick from next week. So giving away quite a bit. There goes Simon. He's on this virtual machine there in the back. He's like a hologram. So
I'm at my desk, typing away.
That's not bad. Not bad. All right. So yeah, every boy has his toys. So
I do. I love messing around with OBS.
Yeah, make sure you guys leave your comments and your questions inside also, because we do look at those after the show, so we can answer your questions if you weren't able to be here live with us. All right. So I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week at Sunday Live, Mass Page Tools and Local SEO Heroes and Lead Gen Magic. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, guys.
See you guys.
Have a good week.
Oh, we've lost our